There's been serious buzz lately in the world of investments, and rightfully so, because we've noticed a trend in the form of major heavyweights, so BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, and Citi, that have been pumping money into a very particular sector of cryptocurrency. And you probably already know that I'm talking about RWAs, or real-world assets. What exactly makes these so important, and why are all these giants economically diving really headfirst into this space? Well, I'm going to try to break down exactly why RWAs are so important as a narrative, as a sector in crypto that's only going to continue to grow. And I want to highlight a few projects in particular that, if you're interested in this space, should definitely be on your crypto radar. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. Look, I wish you all the best of luck if you choose to invest, whether that's into RWA altcoins or otherwise. I wish you very, very well. But I'm not a financial or investment advisor either way. So just remember that this video is not official financial or investment advice. Okay, so first of all, why real-world assets in the first place? We're all observing the fact that RWAs are enjoying the spotlight right now, and it's not a sector you should ignore. Well, Sergey Nazarov here, the creator of Chainlink, kind of sums up the situation pretty nicely. He agrees that RWAs are the next big thing in crypto. And the concept of RWA involves tokenizing assets from otherwise traditional markets. So this applies to things like real estate, loans, bonds, and a whole lot more, at least potentially, all on the blockchain. So that is to say that the real world economy is catching up to the value of tokenization, because for them, it's a fresh way to raise funds. And for regular investors, for the non-whales like yourself, like myself, it presents a lot of new opportunities in terms of what we can do with our investments with relatively low entry barriers. And so the potential within the RWA market is significant. Projects in this sector are going to skyrocket in the next 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. And that's because most instruments and markets will be tokenized. The RWA sector is going to be a game changer for the real estate market especially. Just take a look at the last month in which we've actually seen some major events in the RWA industry. And these events have been pretty substantial. They are likely, therefore, to drive the development of this sector and pump a lot of associated tokens. First of all, we saw Goldman Sachs. They announced plans to launch 3 new tokenization products later this year in the United States and Europe. Their involvement in this sector is going to be substantial. Then we also have BlackRock's BUIDL, that's BUIDL fund, that recently reached $500 million. And the BUIDL fund is a tokenized fund created by BlackRock. It operates on the Ethereum blockchain, by the way. And, you know, all of this does show that BlackRock's weight in the investment and in economic spaces is very significant, and that does carry over to the crypto market in terms of the RWA sector. Everybody is suddenly paying attention to this. And so these events, along with a couple of other more minor ones, are no doubt going to increase real-world asset projects in terms of not only the number of projects, but it's going to be that kind of tide that raises all ships. Therefore, our logic is that now is probably one of the best times that we have to grab RWA tokens prior to skyrocketing prices. So that being said, which RWA tokens should we consider for the portfolio here? Well, here's one that we've talked about in the past, and that's just looking more and more appealing, to be honest. ONDO Finance. ONDO is the ticker. It really is one of the top RWA projects. They offer tokenized financial projects, which bridges the gap between DeFi and so-called traditional finance, TradFi. ONDO is using blockchain to trade real estate and commodities on-chain. And ONDO is the leading RWA project by market cap, which means that it stands to gain the most from any boost in this sector. ONDO is backed officially by BlackRock. They recently connected their assets with BlackRock's BUIDL tokenization fund on Ethereum, thus making ONDO part of the crypto giant's ecosystem. By the way, that's why it got a boost with the Ethereum ETF news as well. And ONDO Finance is looking pretty strong in the long run as well. Right now, the total value lock, the TVL, sits at $574 million. That's according to DeFi Llama. If this trend continues, TVL could reach upwards of $1 billion in really just a few months. That is a possible reality here. And this would, of course, be great news for ONDO's price, the price of ONDO, which, as I record right now, sits at just over $1, We could see that reach $2, possibly $4. It's got a market cap, by the way, currently of $1.475 billion. And that's not just wild speculation. ONDO is actually working on something pretty cool called ONDO Global Markets. This represents a platform where you can easily buy and sell traditional securities, so things like stocks. You can buy and sell them directly. Plus, they also have their own stablecoin, USDY, which is all about making trading simpler and more accessible. Therefore, it does make sense to bet on ONDO right now because of their increasing volume, first and foremost, climbing TVL, its strong connection to Ethereum, and all those ongoing developments that I just mentioned. So keep an eye on this one. The second of 3 RWA projects I want to direct your attention to is Clearpool Finance. And I'd say this is one of the gems from the RWA sector. We think that everybody should hold this one. Clearpool operates a decentralized credit marketplace, meaning it provides permissionless crypto lending and borrowing services for institutional DeFi standards. Clearpool offers tokenized loans. We also like it for its adaptive, risk-adjusted interest rates. And Clearpool already launched its credit vault on Avalanche. The launch was a pretty big step towards transforming the DeFi lending process. And with Clearpool's credit vaults, you can borrow and get higher yields if you choose to become a lender. Clearpool currently has a market cap of $93 million, and its CPOOL token, that's CPOOL, sits right now at 15.5 cents. But this is likely to change in the upward direction, I'd wager, once the RWA sector really does take off. Clearpool is actively expanding its ecosystem and its networks. They recently added Base to their list of networks, which is pretty impressive. Plus, they partnered with Synapse Tech, which offers this confidential AI analyst for real-time credit info in DeFi and RWA markets. And so taken together, it suggests that the future does look pretty good for Clearpool and the CPOOL token. Clearpool is also making credit options more open, accessible, and efficient, which many would argue is exactly what the market needs right now. The team is also shaping the future of DeFi loans, which is an approach that is, in all likelihood, going to attract even more institutional attention since there is an appetite for this, and fintech players as well. They're going to gravitate towards the platform. And so at least in the area of decentralized finance and credit markets, this definitely makes Clearpool stand out as a star. They've attracted over 20 institutions for borrowing, including some pretty big names like Jane Street. This shows you how much interest and confidence there is right now in Clearpool's offerings. So yeah, this is definitely one project that you want to keep on your RWA radar. Okay, last but not least here on our list, we're looking at Polytrade Finance. And they provide a marketplace where sellers, buyers, insurers, and investors can come together to make trading much, much smoother. And that's because Polytrade offers global SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, direct trade financing opportunities, which means businesses really around the world can get the funds they need in order to grow. Polytrade has partnered with several top names, which is why we have a pretty big bet on them right now. MasterCard and Lionel Messi are among those on board. Plus, they've got some pretty powerful partners backing them, names like Matrix, Polygon Studios, AlphaWave, CoinSwitch, and others. And as far as market caps go on this list of RWA sector altcoins, we have Polytrade here, which is by far the tiniest project, coming in at just about $25.5 million in terms of total market cap. The trade token price, that's TRADE, sits right now as I record at just below 69 cents. So certainly with a little bit of infusion here, this one has the most room to grow in terms of price performance from a market cap perspective. And I am expecting the growth here really generally of RWA projects. And this is one that certainly should be heading up your list. Again, especially for that punching above its weight sort of metric, only a $25.5, not even $1 million market cap.